Sporting's only defeat in the UEFA Cup this season came in their home tie with Sochaux in December, but they entered today's match on the back of a 2-0 loss at home to Penafiel last weekend. Hardly the ideal preparation. Borough's defeat by Sporting in the first leg was their second in the competition, and having beaten Lazio 2-0, they have the confidence to get the result today. Watching the action is Gary Bloom.
Steve McLaren, the Middlesbrough manager, returns to Portugal, where he was assistant to Sven-Göran Eriksson during Euro 2004. He departed this country with mixed emotions. I wonder what's in store tonight. McLaren is without the services of 10 recognised first-teamers, and to progress to the last 8, he'll have to overturn a 3-2 first-leg deficit. Sporting are missing key players in Custodio and Rochenbach, and surprisingly have omitted their fastest player in attack, Rudolf Douala. In comes Beto and the player nicknamed the Maverick, Ricardo Sapinto. Pedro Barbosa, Leedson and Douala were the goal scorers in the first leg in England. From last week's match, Middlesbrough have lost right-back Michael Reisiger. Tony McMahon is his replacement. Also absent is Jimmy Floyd Hasselback. In his absence, Szilard Nemeth will partner Joseph Desiree Job. So Borough are short of strikers, and only one of their allotted substitutes plays in an attacking role. There's the coach of Sporting, Jose Posado. It'll be Middlesbrough to get this second leg underway. The prize for the winners, place in the last 8 of the UEFA Cup. Ricardo was very much the hero of the Portuguese national team, Euro 2004. Here's Downing with a cross, it's an early one. Over the head of Hugo and to safety. Steve McLaren, who'll return to the international coaching role he enjoys in the next week or so. Our match official is from France. Quedru with the throw. Almost fell to Zenden. An opening here. Moutinho. Leedson. Oh, there's a strong appeal for a penalty. Quedru took the ball, but he seemed to lean on the shoulder there of Leedson, the top goal scorer in the Portuguese league. That could have been curtains for Middlesbrough had they conceded that early penalty. And Karim with this crossfield ball picks out Rui George. Hugo Viana. Viana again, Rui George, the Portuguese international. Sapinto. All being knocked around in the Middlesbrough half at the moment. It was an outrageous dive, certainly an accentuated one, but it did its job. The French official was convinced there was a trip there by Zenden. Is it going to be Beto or Viana or Rui George who's taking a long run up here? It's Beto, and it's held well by Mark Schulzer, who goes into this game with a slight knee injury, but good enough to take his place in the Middlesbrough goal, the Australian international. Warm night in Portugal. Could get a lot warmer before the evening's done. Rui George. Leedson. Almost lost the ball. Beto. Rogerio. Sporting seeing an awful lot of the ball early on here. Here's Hugo. Rui George. Viana, currently on loan from an English club, Newcastle, neighbours of Middlesbrough. Pedro Barbosa. The captain leading by example. But Middlesbrough's depleted team is under pressure here from Sporting. Quedru, the French left-back. Zenden. Leedson wins it back for Sporting. Pedro Barbosa. Leedson. Had absolutely nothing to aim at. And it's Gareth Southgate, the England international, who got in the way. Schulzer, certainly the busier of the two goalkeepers. Here's another corner for Sporting, well held by Mark Schulzer. Oh, there's an opening here for Job. Joseph Desiree Job. Ricardo hasn't got it. Nemeth! And cleared off the line. What a chance there for Middlesbrough to grab a vital away goal. Job did everything right, and it was Rui George virtually on his own goal line. Pinter. Pedro Barbosa. Leedson. Duala wants the ball played to him. Too many red shirts around him. Leedson almost wins it back. Here's Zenden. Pedro Barbosa with a very strong challenge. It's Rogerio now. Sapinto. Rogerio now for Sporting. He's pulled it back. What a miss kick there by Duala. Another let off. Vaiana belted the ball straight at Mark Schwarzer. All the pressure from the home team. Bit of a miss kick there by the substitute. And then Vaiana struck the ball straight at Schwarzer. Middlesbrough got the throw. They have had their chances, although the vast majority of the play is down at the Middlesbrough end. Good turn by Joseph Desiree Job. And his industry has won a free kick, much to the annoyance of the Sporting coach. Downing to take the free kick. It's a good one as well. A header by Job, just wide. Although the whistle has gone, there's an offside here against a Middlesbrough player. That must have been pretty difficult to spot. Middlesbrough have invested heavily, bringing the likes of Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank and Mark Viduka to this club. And they were brought to Middlesbrough for nights just to seize. What an irony is they're unavailable due to injury. Zenden. Stuart Downing, the newly recruited England international. And that's a great run by Downing. Nemeth waiting in the middle here, beaten away by Ricardo, and the shot fired in at pace by Parnaby, and Sporting have survived again. The better chances of the game are actually coming to the away side. Zenden. Dutch international trying to elude the attentions there of Leedson. McMahon. Parnaby. Good play here by Middlesbrough. The youngsters have knitted in well. Job. Once again, right down the throat of the Sporting goalkeeper, Ricardo. Middlesbrough need to beat Sporting by 2 clear goals if they're to reach the quarter-finals. They've had 2 or 3 really good chances, but so far, the game is goalless. Sporting want the corner, the crowd want the corner. The referee says goal kick. Nemeth. This is the venue where Portugal were eliminated from Euro 2004 at the semi-final stage by Holland. And there's the Dutch international Zenden with a touch. Is Joseph Desiree Job. That one's not going to trouble Ricardo. Job is half done for Sporting. They've just about kept Middlesbrough out. They've enjoyed the lion's share of play. But the most important statistic is Ricardo has not been beaten yet by the English club. And the half-time score here is Sporting 0, Middlesbrough 0. If Middlesbrough's job was difficult at the start of the game, it's even more difficult now. They need 2 goals in this second 45 minutes, and they have to prevent Sporting from scoring to progress to the last stage of the competition. No wonder these Sporting coaches looking pretty happy with the state of affairs. Duala, one of the fastest players in the Portuguese league. Leedson runs into the challenge of Quedru. Quedru's studs just made contact there with the arm of Leedson. Leedson. Rogerio, easy for Schwarzer. stadium about half full for this UEFA Cup tie. The hope is that Sporting would dispatch Middlesbrough here. And who knows what could happen in the next round. Good header by Beto, cushioned carefully just to steer the ball away from Job. Job really hasn't scored the number of goals Middlesbrough would have required from him since his stay at the club. Rui George, fine ball into Douala. He has Riggett for company. Douala picked out here towards Leeson, and he's offside. Sporting had a bit of a setback here at the weekend, beaten on this ground in a league fixture. They're down in 5th position of the Portuguese league. Down in giving chase, but you need to be an Olympic sprinter to get on the end of that one. Hoping to be part of Sven-Göran Eriksson's plan, Stuart Downing, in the forthcoming internationals. Nemeth skips the ball on only to Beto. And Sporting strangling the life out of the game, but they've given the ball away here. Job! Oh, what a chance for Middlesbrough! If ever there was an opportunity to breathe new life into this contest, it was then. Nemeth picks out Job, and really, he should have scored. He had to stretch to get there. It wasn't the kindest of passes, but it wasn't the kindest of finishes. Job, disappointing ball, and Karim won it back. This is Stuart Downing for Middlesbrough. Southgate. Douala. Round 1 challenge. Look at his speed here. Riggett's next. Riggett got the block in. It's Pedro Barbosa. Never really got hold of his shot properly. Really, all the damage to Middlesbrough was done in that first leg. Douala, he certainly has brought a zip to this Sporting team. So he's brought a handball to this football match. Free kick to Middlesbrough. Rui George. Sapinto and a Karim. Rogerio. Viana. Difficult for Middlesbrough if they push forward. Sporting will expose them ruthlessly. Pedro Barbosa. Sporting happy to play keep ball here. The home side really have done a fine job trying to keep Middlesbrough at arm's length. Rogerio. The last stage of the UEFA Cup is just on the horizon now for Sporting. Rui George. Leeson. Neat build-up there by Sporting, but no final flourish by Leeson. Sapinto setting up the opportunity for the prolific goal scorer. Job was the intended target, and Karim slipped. He did well to retrieve the ball in a tricky situation. It's Pedro Barbosa. Ricardo Sapinto. Leeds takes on Riggett. Barnaby with the covering clearance. Middlesbrough seem to carry a greater threat in the first half than they've done in the second. And their manager, Steve McLaren, is frustrated to say the least. Sapinto. Viana posted on the edge of the penalty area. Coutinho. Simon won it. Leeton, Pedro Barbosa, and Douala, tight angle. Pedro Barbosa. Wild strike from the youngster Moutinho. Those fans believe their team are on their way. They continue to create the opportunities, even if the finishing has not been of the highest order. Will Sporting be back here for the final of the competition? This is the venue for this season's UEFA Cup final. I'm sure it'll be more full than it is at the moment. Rogerio and Douala. Rui George and Douala. Douala shields the ball from Riggett. Sporting happy to keep possession, as they've done for most of this second half. Rare breakaway attack here for Middlesbrough. It really has been hard going for them. Pedro Barbosa. And this is Douala. Squared it towards Leeton. Pedro Barbosa still scrapping for the ball. He's that sort of character. And here's Downing. Final ball was hugely disappointing. Sapinta. Rui George as Sporting continue to take the game to Middlesbrough. They are on the final lap now of this two-legged UEFA Cup tie. And still have a sizable advantage. Maybe only one goal on aggregate, but Middlesbrough still need 2 away goals. Leeton. Referee waves play on. Job. Moutinho trying to stick to him. Not an easy task. Quidru, and here's Downing. Now, can he produce a quality cross? The answer is no. Really cleared by Beto. Oh, they've given the ball away dangerously here. Danny Graham, who's come on as a substitute for Middlesbrough, just 19 years old, with a very presentable chance then. Rare mistake by Sporting. Given away by Hugo Viana. It was one of the best passes Middlesbrough have had in the last third of the field. Ricardo. Viana. Well, that's a terrific effort by Leeton, and he's denied by an outstanding stop here by Mark Schwarzer. Wasn't an easy opportunity. He made it look easier. Just drifted in here behind Gareth Southgate. Corner to Sporting. Leeton's in there. Nemeth has won the throw. Bit of a chase on here for Beto. Under pressure from Job. Nemeth. Free kick to Sporting, just nothing is going Middlesbrough's way. Shorn of so many first-team regulars, this was always going to be a very difficult task for them, and so it's proved. Nikolai about to come on here for Sporting. And Viana's been fouled. The last throws of Middlesbrough's UEFA Cup campaign appear to be about to unfold. Viana to take the free kick. Oh, great save by Schwarzer. That certainly would have killed it off. Any lingering doubts we might have had about the outcome of this tie. Nikolai is on for Leedson. Corner kick here to Sporting. Douala. Vaiana. Oh, and Nikolai rather stupidly has tried to get in the way of Schwartz's clearance, and he has a yellow card. Marius Nikolai, the Romanian international. Pedro Barbosa. Better. Game almost down to walking pace now. And here's Douala, who never seems to be down at walking pace. Terrific speed by Douala. Looking up to try pick out a colleague. Douala, Pedro Barbosa! It's all over now. Middlesbrough's defence has been cracked in the final minute of the game. And how fitting that Pedro Barbosa, the captain of Sporting, who scored in the first leg at the Riverside Stadium, applies the coup de grace. Sapinto. Sporting are through to the last stage of the competition, although one would argue all the hard work was done in England in the first leg. They played this one just about right, keeping Middlesbrough at arm's length for long periods of the game, and Steve McLaren's side are eliminated. Just one goal separates the two teams on the night. Sporting 1, Middlesbrough 0.
With a 3-1 deficit to make up from the first leg, Ukrainian side Shakhtar Donetsk knew that they had much to do in the return game against AZ Alkmaar if they were to make it into the last 8 of the UEFA Cup. AZ reached the final of this competition back in 1981 and moved a step closer to their goal of reaching this year's final 9 minutes in. Barry van Gaalen playing a 1-2 with Kenneth Perez before firing into the top corner to give AZ the lead. Quadriance's side nearly doubled that advantage 22 minutes in. Tim de Clercq's low shot forcing a fine save from Jan Lastovka in the Shakhtar goal. After the break, AZ kept up their attacking instinct, and good work by Robin Nelis and Kenneth Perez allowed Martin Meerdink to stroke the ball in to make it 2-0 and effectively seal AZ's passage into the last 8. Shakhtar gained some consolation a minute later as substitute Denis Kulikov's cross from the right wing was nodded in by Brazilian Elano. But it was a case of too little, too late for the visitors. AZ 2-1 victors on the night and 5-2 winners on aggregate.